And look, more again today on that White House visit as Anthony Albanese and his entourage are heading home. They're in the air right now. Having watched the Rudd era from a ringside seat in Canberra, I have to say I'm no fan of Heavy Kevy. I think that's an understatement. Of all the recent inhabitants in the lodge, he's right up there with Malcolm Turnbull as the two of the most unsuited men in history to have the great honour of leading this country. But the character quirks that made Rudd such a poor Prime Minister, weirdly enough, well, they're attributes in the United States. He is, as Tony Abbott once described him, a pestilential nuisance, a pain in the proverbial. But in the foot in the door sort of world that is Washington, the dog-eat-dog world of the United States, Kevin Rudd's a perfect fit. From all sides of politics, everyone I know in the US, well, they think Rudd's good. They know him. And while we might think Australia matters, the truth of it is for most of the congressional odds and sods and most of Wall Street, we don't. We're irrelevant. So the fact that our ambassador's so well known that he can get a meeting with almost anyone that matters, well, that's a good thing, as much as the critics don't want to give Rudd any credit. Now, do I think most of them would enjoy catching up with him? Absolutely not. But they do it in part because he's right across the detail of issues like China, and few in the diplomatic ranks are as good as that. And second, they will know that if they don't give Rudd a meeting, he'll just keep hammering and hammering and hammering them until they get one. So they roll over. As I said, that works in Washington. It wouldn't make him a good appointment to a post in Europe or the United Kingdom, but the US, I reckon's made for Rudd. What's more, as I said last night, everyone knows that the critical minerals deal was Rudd's work. I mean, he wore them down. And while the PM was off sunning himself on a beach on holiday last week, it was Rudd dotting the I's and crossing the T's and trawling the halls of Congress to get this over the line. And it's why Susan Lee's demand that Rudd should go fell as flat as it did.
I don't believe he should stay in that role, and to see the Prime Minister actually laughing at his own ambassador in the room when the President made a joke, I think it's untenable.
She's right, yes, the Prime Minister was laughing at Rudd and quickly threw him under the bus. But today, when she fronted the cameras, Susan Lee declined to repeat that demand.
With Kevin Rudd again, was that a captain's call when you said he needed to be sacked?
Well, Kevin Rudd is the Prime Minister's choice for ambassador. It's a big job. What was clear yesterday was that the Prime Minister has a lot of catching up to do.
And interestingly, earlier in the morning on Sky News, former frontbencher Senator Jane Hume said this.
The call for Kevin Rudd to resign or stand down, the call for his position to be untenable now is probably a little bit churlish. The work clearly has been done on critical minerals and rare earths by Kevin Rudd personally, and I think that he should be acknowledged for that good work.
They're not happy campers in the coalition, are they? But Hume's right. But as I also said last night, it's one thing to announce American and Australian subsidies for critical mineral production and processing in Australia. It's quite another thing to make these projects operational, given our system doesn't do urgent anymore, with all the endless delay around approval processes and the potential for green lawfare. So good on the government for Rudd's deal yesterday, but announcements, they're the easy part. Labor does announcements well. It's making things happen that they're hopeless at. And so this time, given China's stranglehold in this area, let's pray we see some quick action.